going on, everybody? It's Brandon Mitchell here. I'm an independent artist from Memphis, Tennessee. I was born in New York, but my mom moved down here when I was about 1, so yeah, I'm from Memphis, man. I'm from the Oak Haven area, or the sub is what we like to call it. And growing up in the sub, it's not the most peaceful place to live, but it's not the worst. I mean, growing up in a family of 8, my dad died when I was about 11. So, you know, we tended to struggle a little bit, but that's not the end of the story. We all eventually went on to lead productive and fruitful lives. Well, it all started with my sister who played violin for the orchestra. She sounded so good I had to try it out for myself. So eventually I'd take up violin in the orchestra. And eventually I developed my skills enough to move over to the cello. This was when I really developed an appreciation for classical music. And I enjoyed classical music, I enjoyed the orchestra. But every now and then I would hear this jazz band at Wooddale High School down the hall. Sounding so good, I had to go in and check it out. So I go in, I see the bass guitarist and the saxophonists in there killing it. They sounded so great. So eventually I'd grab a bass guitar and I became the bass guitarist for the jazz band. And then went on to play the sax. I developed my skills enough to be able to play for my church choir. And playing around those musicians, I feel like they brought my skill level up to a much higher level. So I was able to move on to play professionally. I eventually played for a couple of bands throughout the city of Memphis. Currently, I play for the 8.0 band, which is certainly an eclectic group of individuals. So as you can see, I've developed a deep connection and appreciation for all types of music. From classical music, where you have dynamics and smaller intricacies in structured sheet music, or into jazz, where you have a much more fluid experience while holding down a solid pocket. Even into gospel, where there are much more freedoms. You may be subtly backing up the pastor while he's preaching with no tempo, or you may be driving the tempo home in praise and worship. All of these experiences ultimately have led me to become the contemporary artist that I am today. The music that appeals to me is a combination of natural expression. I might want to hear up-tempo funk to get me going in the morning, or I might want to hear a more classical vibe to wind down in the evening. I might want to hear some gospel to keep me centered during a rough work day, or even some quartet music to get me on home when I'm clocking out from that work day. Or I may want to hear a more sensual tone when I'm riding through the city with my lady. It's all of these experiences that create the core and the essence of my music. My experiences vary, therefore my thoughts vary. That's why my music varies. The sky's the limit. But I am thinking of a master plan. Now, I don't have the same thoughts every day, but I am thinking about this day. Ergo, the title of my upcoming album, Thoughts in a Day. It's centered around one day. What I'm thinking in the morning, what I'm thinking in the noonday, and what I'm thinking in the evening. One day. Thoughts in a day. What are your thoughts today? Peace.